I'm Simon King, and this is What's Wrong. Hello, how are you? It's been a while. It was the last year when I last saw you, and now it's this year, and things have... You don't care. It doesn't matter. Who gives a fuck, right? Why am I even bothering? I don't even know when you're listening to this. This could be the last broadcast after the apocalypse. Like, you could be sitting in your bunker just eating your friend, or whatever the fuck you do, because it's the end of the world. Like, the aliens are here, and they're walking around, and they're like, we want to suck your brain out, and you're like, I don't want to get my brain sucked out. You know, what'll make me happy is listening to podcasts from 200 years ago, and then you get this fucking guy, and you're like, oh, he's so lucky to be dead. Anyway, welcome. It's good to know that we haven't missed a beat. Please welcome my guest, Megan Milton, ladies and gentlemen. Megan Milton, hey! See?
Hello.
See, I snuck it up on you.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks for being on the podcast. Thanks for being the first guest in our new, maybe permanent studio, maybe not. We don't know. This is the new studio. Every studio has a name. The first one was the studio we were in, and the second one was Deadly Heights, which was Mikey Central, and then this one, I don't know what we should call it. Maybe we should call it Art Nap's Plantland. I don't know what the fuck. It
is also very like meat locker murder space in the back.
Oh,
like
murder studio.
It feels a little bit like it could be an escape room. Just any part of this. Oh, this part is also a co-working space. So this is like escape being sad. It's
escape the day to day. Come to the basement. I feel like I'm going to adjust my weird 1970s net chair.
Are you going to be able to make it through? That looks really uncomfortable.
No, it's actually remarkably comfortable.
Is it? Okay.
This is how I'm designed. I was designed to sit like
hunch?
this. Yeah, to hunch and lean and sit.
I like to hunch too, to be honest.
But I'm a big. People think I'm a lot shorter than I am because I hunch. People often think I'm quite a bit
shorter.
shorter.
How tall are you?
I'm 5'10".
Oh.
But I hunch a lot.
Right.
Because I have what you call it, terrible self-esteem. So what I do is I try to turtle as much as I can. And then the problem is if I stand up straight, because I'm a rather broad fellow, it looks like I'm pushing my tits in everyone's face, which people don't like. Well, some people like it, and we'll get a lot of tips for that. It'll be good. And if you like it, subscribe to the Patreon. You know what the funny thing is? I paused my Patreon because I wasn't producing podcasts, and I felt bad.
Right.
And then I just value for money, right? Anyway, I've talked enough. You take over. I'm done.
Oh, God. What am I supposed to talk about? I don't know.
Do you do a lot of podcasts?
I've done one podcast.
Holy shit. Is this better?
I've done
like
better,
right?
recently I've done other podcasts, but it was like forever ago. I did Al D's podcast where you talk about relationships. Actually, I saw you the night that I did that podcast because it was the night that Jake and Jenny did their show at that The Heart or whatever.
Yeah.
It was just all like on dating and trauma, and then I was like, I hate everything. So I'm hoping this will be less sad. I hope.
The great thing about this is there's no substance.
Great.
And that is really where we shine.
Yeah.
Right, Mikey? Oh, and I forgot to remind you, ladies and gentlemen, back with us, not that he wasn't with us, because the last ones you saw were evergreens, he was there, but Mikey's been around. It's not, what the fuck am I talking about? It's not like you were in a submarine for years. What the fuck is going on? But he's not on mic because I forgot my headphones and a mic stand and mic. We're not good at. We're trying. All right, we're just a couple of dudes. One of us is seriously middle aged. It's not working. Mikey Greenwood is here, ladies and gentlemen. He's
He's waving. Yeah.
Hello. That's enough. That's enough for Mikey. Yeah, we haven't put out a podcast since November. I'm glad. So this is like, you're pretty new to podcasting then.
Yeah, I haven't done very many of them. I also don't like podcasts.
I don't
so
either.
that would be part of the problem. I have no ambition.
No, I don't like it either. You know what they say? They say write what you want to read, make what you want to watch.
Yeah.
Not in this case.
No, I don't. I mean, I really appreciate people who enjoy podcasts, and I think it's a very valid. You know what it is? I don't like podcast guys. You know what I'm talking about, right? You know what a podcast guy is. Yeah, that's like
the Roganese.
Well, no. Like being a woman who dates men. They're just like everything, every second word. It's either like Step Brothers quotes or like I heard this on a podcast. That's like 90% of what straight men talk about.
Because some guy leans into you on your first date. What's your favorite shark? What kind of shark do you like? Like, what the fuck? It's like, oh, you like sharks? Or why are you talking about that? Just listen to a podcast about sharks. That's all.
No, they're like waiting for a reason to get it in there. Because I'm convinced that there are some people who just don't have personalities.
Oh, yeah.
And they're just like trying to fill the space with anything.
If you're going to come on here and shit on my fans, that's not cool. Like, I don't like that.
I'm sorry.
No, a lot of them are real dolls. That's the problem I have. Is a lot of
Oh.
Real dolls with Burt Kreischer's face. I don't want to talk about it. It's not a thing.
I feel bad. I instantly came on and I was like, fuck everyone.
You're like, I hate podcasts. Fuck your fans. I'm like, that's fair.
Your fans are cool. I've been on shows where they were in the audience, so they seem cool.
My fans, yeah. Both of them are nice. And if you share a cab with them to the venue, it's fucking great. It's the funny people are like, it's not the quantity of your fans, it's the quality. I'm like, can they pay $400 a ticket? He goes, I'm dying here. Anyway, but no, to everybody who hasn't seen or listened to an episode of the podcast in a while, thank you and welcome back. We're starting with a bang with a fucking amazing comedian and what would we say, veteran showrunner? Is this at this point? Because you run a lot of shows.
Yeah, I've been running a lot of shows since like 2017 is when I started.
Oh, God, so long ago.
That's it. I keep looking back on it like it's not a long time ago, but it really is.
It
It
right?
really is
It's
like 6 years.
It's 6 years ago.
And
you're like, what the fuck? Because it feels like, because anything post 2010, you're like, that's last week. But it's fucking not. It's a long time ago. Like, I was thinking about 2013 the other day. I'm like, fuck, when I was thinking about it, I was like, that's almost 10 years ago. And I was thinking about, like, what have I done? I've done nothing. By the measuring stick of a human, I've had a kid. That's all I've done. You know?
Yeah, I'm like one of those people who I'm like born 1990, so it's like a zero number, and I feel like when you're born on a zero number, it's really easy to like look back at exactly how old you were. You don't have to do any math at all. So I keep forgetting that I'm 32.
Ugh.
Because I don't.
I was born in the 70s. I was born before people had VCRs. This is how old I am.
I'm not complaining.
Oh no, we're gonna fight about it. No, just kidding. Because that's what I've become now. I've become an old man. Like, I don't think the baby boomers was a time. I think it's a feeling that just moves through generations.
Absolutely,
it's nipping at my toes now. It's like, man, that used to be better the way it was. Like, no, it didn't. No, it fucking didn't. You know how many serial killers were around the 80s?
So many, yeah. That's because
it was a big thing back then.
There's like and this is maybe wildly incorrect, I don't know, but apparently like one of the things that possibly contributed to there being less serial killers is actually the fact that like abortion became legal.
Oh, Freakonomics. I read that. Yeah, Freakonomics. There's a lot, and that got. What's his name? Stephen something. I got him in a lot of trouble, but he's like, it's just numbers, it's just math. And this is why math people shouldn't be allowed to talk. Because they're good at numbers. Hey, you can put something on the moon. Fucking great. Don't go to a cocktail party. Because it'd be like, actually, technically, abortion is responsible for why there's more parking. All right, and now they don't know why everyone's yelling at them.
Yeah. Yeah, they don't.
But it is a thing, right? Like, and I think that's the butterfly effect of society, right? Like, people don't even sort of see that everything like that is connected. Like, bread prices are connected to prison population. Like, it just, that kind of shit.
I haven't heard that
It,
one.
like, all ties together.
See, bread prices are also directly contributed to by Galen Weston.
Yeah, yeah.
Enemy number one. I hate him so much.
If you're the one American or two Ukrainian ham reader, I hope you guys are okay. I didn't check on you since the war. I hope you're all right. I don't even know where they were, but they were like the last information we got from them was that everything was fine. So I was like, "Yes, good. Please more episode. We like Harris," and that's all. So I didn't know whether Dave Harris or Harris Anderson. I'm not sure, but the Ukrainians like him. Probably because they're white. I'm not saying. I'm just saying. Anyway, but yeah, so for people who don't know, Galen Weston is the heir to
he's currently in charge. His dad, his dad died.
Did
He's
he?
like the CEO, yeah. He died. I have a spicy business where I sell a tote bag that makes fun of him.
Oh,
and
nice.
We sold out the day he died. It was my finest
plug
achievement.
the spicy business.
Leftmerch.com.
Left Merch. What a great name.
Yeah. It's very simple. I
How
regret
did I know
it.
about this? I must have known about this.
Do you not know?
I do
seriously?
not know about this.
Oh, man. Okay. Well, I had extra money when CERB happened because I got evicted.
Oh, nice.
And I was living in a dining room, and it was like, my rent is like $400, and I'm getting a lot of money from the government.
Yeah.
And then, my roommate and I started a business together.
Yeah, fucking capitalist. Look
I
at you.
know, right?
That's what you are. You're one of them corporate welfare people. Yeah. You take the money from the government and you start a fucking business. Not my house, sister. I'll tell you, not in the doom basement. What is this, the murder basement? What are we calling it?
Yeah, murder basement. You know, it's actually creepier up high. It's not the basement part of this is okay.
Yeah.
It's the upstairs that is.
The upstairs is fucking freaky.
Yeah.
The upstairs looks like something from Half-Life video game. Like, down here is fine. Like, Mikey's down here. He just makes a room warmer. You know if Mikey's here, you're okay, right?
Right.
Because whatever was going to kill someone would have got him first. There's no fucking way. There's no way he's getting away, right? He's like, He's like a puppy. He'd be like, what is that, a shiny object? And he'd be like, bonk. And you come in and be like, oh shit, that thing's eating Mikey. And you just fucking
You've
leave.
forgotten your keys lanyard.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's what kills it. It tries to eat it, it chokes on it, and you escape. You're half Mikey just
Where is your keys
Yeah, I heard
lanyard?
he shoved its fanny.
I left them at home, and Lindsay's got to make sure she's home for when I get home. I couldn't find them on the way out.
The thing,
It was kind of an ordeal.
for people that don't know, Mikey keeps his keys around his neck because he can't be trusted with adult responsibilities. And now he somehow forgot. I don't know how it got off his neck, but somehow he forgot.
And Lindsay's pissed that she has to be home when
Oh my god, the day that you're able to get like a voice operated door lock
Yeah.
would be the fucking best. You have to tune it for you sober and you're drunk. After 1 o'clock in the morning, it's like
You gotta get one of those like little lock boxes that they have for Airbnbs, and you like attach it to something, and then because I think that might have solved some of your problems.
Yeah, if you had
I'm gonna save your entire relationship right now.
And you know what you do is
Solutions.
you give the code to a few of your friends that you're likely to be drinking with.
Right.
So that then they drop you off.
concussed around, yeah.
or concussed around. But if they drop you off, they'd be like, what's the code? What's the code, Mikey? You'd be like, I can't remember. But if they know, they'll be like, I know Mikey's not gonna, and they just have the tattoo because you have to have a tattoo.
Yeah, you could do that.
It
You
would
could
just be
get
like
the tattoo,
cauliflower
yeah.
or whatever the fuck it is.
they find a stray Mikey. No, take him home.
Just basically, if your arm gets cut off, you get it back in the mail like a TB Vets tag. So left merch, what do you make?
We make spicy T-shirts and tote bags and stickers. Yeah, like very left wing, obviously.
Like it, yeah.
But yeah, my favorite thing.
Left wing spicy. I like the idea of that.
Yeah, it's like it's pretty fun. You know, some things are spicier than others.
Yeah.
But my favorite thing to do is like when conservatives are complaining about CERB, I'll drop in and be like, I started a business with my CERB, and then they'll be like, yeah, that's so cool. And then I link to the business, and they're like, oh no, commerce is bad.
What did they think? You started a fracking business with
Yeah,
$2,000 a month? What do you think you were doing? They're like, oh yeah, she bought a front end loader. She's just out there. Just a picture of you in a hard hat. She's making a change. Good for her. With a frack Trudeau flag on the back. Like, it doesn't even make sense. You can't frack a human, can you? I don't know. I don't go to this website. Mikey knows. So that's cool. And so people, what's your best selling left merch thing? What should people get?
It's 100% the Eat the Rich bag. So it's like the
Rich.
It's the Loblaws logo, but it's like a little bit. It's upside down so we don't get sued.
Yeah.
And then it says Eat the Rich, and people love it.
People got upset with me because I put a video on the TikTok. And one of the things was just complaining about the Freedom Convoy people. And I was just like, you're not, if you really want to change shit, you need to protest the banks and the debt prison, and you're a debt slave. That's what it is. All of this is economic, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And at one point I go, if you really wanted to make change, build a guillotine and hang out on billionaires' lawns until they get the fucking idea. And then people are like, that's too far, man. I'm like, that is not too far. I didn't say kill billionaires. Kill billionaires. I didn't say it. But I said you should let them know what happened to fucking Louis and Mary.
Yeah, it was just like give them a gentle reminder. Yeah, I like to think that that's what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Especially if my CSIS agent is watching. Definitely not going to do anything.
Does the bag go over someone's head easily?
Yeah. I think on the website we say that it will comfortably fit a melon.
Oh.
The other thing we have is like a hat that looks like a Parks like logo thing, like some sort of like I don't know how to describe it, like national park thing.
Yeah.
And it's got a guillotine and a sunset, and it says "Save our dying planet." Chippy chops or billionaires to the chippy chop, and that one does really well as well.
I love that. See,
but that
there's
was nice
someone
and
else
subtle.
who's pro guillotine billionaire.
Yeah,
I'm
no,
not saying killed billionaires. I'm saying evil. I'm saying what I'm saying is billionaires should know that if you don't want to be on the guillotine list, take some of your $44 billion,
give it
or whatever
away.
you spent. You know what? Here's
Or
the thing.
pay taxes.
Here's what
Pay
I don't understand.
taxes.
Here's what I understand. Say you have hundreds of billions of dollars, like more money than you could ever possibly spend or use. You want to do evil shit. You're into it. You want to do evil shit. Oh, I want a submarine. I want to.
Well, you know what we have to do?
topple
We just have to
economies.
start killing everyone who makes the Forbes top 3, and then there'll be no incentivized to hoard wealth.
You know
Because
what?
like at this point, it's just a dick measuring contest, right?
Yeah, that's
like,
all it is.
They don't actually want. They couldn't possibly spend. Well, unless you're Elon Musk, you could probably spend that.
But
money.
even him, he can't spend it as fast as he makes it, because what did they say about? And this is what I love about Mackenzie Scott, who was like married to Jeff Bezos. And I think she got like $13 billion in the divorce, which for him is nothing. And she's given away like 50, and now she has 90. Like she has, because she can't give it away fast enough.
Yeah.
Because it's one of those things. So I think that, here's the thing. If you want to be an evil motherfucker, so you got some Lex Luthor ideas. You're like, I want to fucking do terrible shit. But I want people like me. If you want to buy Twitter and fuck with Twitter, fine. If you spend $6 billion and you eliminate world hunger first, I can't really be as mad. Like, I can be mad, but I can't, because I'm like, if you actually did it. I mean, if you actually, I'm not talking about the pretending. I'm talking about if you actually eliminated, like, something as significant. If you say you spent $12 billion and you made it so there wasn't one child in poverty in the world. But if you could do it, I'm just saying. If it's possible,
they can do it, but they won't, because capitalism is designed to have like a boogeyman, right?
Yeah.
Like there has to be a threat of going hungry. Otherwise,
exactly.
no one would do this.
But we're
like
both,
look. You can't see where we are, but this is like a co-working space, and I want to cry.
It's nice. It's fancy.
Being in here is giving me anxiety.
We are in the fancy basement. We come down here to do our podcast over here with the art people, but over there they have all the computers. It's very fancy. But that's the thing. So like, so just suppose that situation could exist, and someone was so desired so much to do so.
It's totally possible.
So
they could
what
do it,
would
yeah.
then that's the problem. Then I become conflicted because I don't mind wealth. I abhor greed. I think greed is a mental illness. I think if you're willing to hurt other people or harm other people to enrich yourself without the consequences, you don't care, that's on you. I don't have a problem with if you want to invent anti-gravity and make $1 trillion, I don't give a fuck as long as you pay your fair share and you give back. But the good you could do. And there are, and I'm not saying billionaires don't, because there are people who do good. There was that guy who invented some HVAC system, and he died penniless because he gave everything away.
Right.
He gave away $2 billion.
Well, he's not a billionaire.
Well, that's the thing. He died penniless because he made $2 billion and he died.
The crime is holding on to the money.
Well, see, that's the thing. So say you had say something happened tomorrow and you had $4 billion, right? And you are given the opportunity to use this money for fundamental change, but then you see to yourself, well, okay, hold on. If I spend $2 billion of it and I keep $2 billion, then I can spend $2 billion next year. So that to me is okay. If you want to give away, like if you have $4 billion, you want to give away $2 billion, and then you make another $2 billion, you give that away. If you keep $2 billion, I don't give a fuck because you're giving away so much and you're doing so much. If it's doing good, I'm not talking about this. I'll buy a painting for $50 million and give it to an art gallery and pretend. No, I'm not talking about that shit. I'm talking about if you're like, you know what, I'm going to pay everyone's rent for the year. Like that shit. Like that makes significant difference in people's lives. The problem with that is then I have a hard time getting really enraged because I'm like, yeah, fuck you and your, but also thanks, but fuck. You know,
that's what liberal reforms are, right?
Yeah.
Like the whole idea is to take the fire out of you.
Yeah.
That's like
But that's
core.
how you could defeat people like us. Is like if you were a billionaire.
That's not how you. It's how they do.
It's how they do.
That's how
but
they
imagine
do
if they
it.
went so much further and actually did something like that. Like, that would defeat us because they don't even understand that. What I'm saying is, if you want to stop liberals and stuff, just give away a lot of money. Just give it to a real place. Like, pay your taxes. We'll just fucking shut up. We'll shut up, right?
I mean, your your listeners, they're not
some
reading.
readers out there. No, they don't read. They sound out a lot of words.
They're probably already paying their taxes, right? Like, they're not the ones.
Oh, they don't make that kind of money. Like most of my people are in that happy zone where the government gives you money because they can't believe you're alive. They give you that scurvy stipend where they're like, holy shit, have a tomato. Fucking fuck.
But I mean, they're still paying taxes because they're like paying their landlord who's then paying taxes or like you're paying for, you're paying sales tax and stuff like that. So like we're all contributing to the best of our ability except the billionaires.
Yeah, purchase tax is a big thing. And the thing is like even if you pay very little income tax, everything you buy, because the thing is, if you give people who don't have a lot of money, they spend the money because they have to.
Yeah.
And if you give people who have a lot of money, they don't spend the money because they don't have to. And it's really a simple equation. And so that's why I think it's hilarious when,
it's trickle up economics. That's what they call it.
Trickle up, seep up.
The problem is though, like, because I feel like this is leading into a conversation about guaranteed income or whatever.
It can be. Yeah, I'm a fan of UBI though.
I'm a fan of UBI if there's like really, really, really strong renter protections, right? Because like what's going to happen is the landlords are just going to get that money.
Oh yeah, no, it has to be like sort of 1%. I mean, obviously, I think if you're a landlord and you're owning properties and everything, and the cost of living goes up, not the cost of mortgages, but the cost of living, I think everyone's wages should keep pace with that, and I think that's fair with things like rent. So, but I'm not a fan of this like 6% a year bullshit. It's like if it's 0.5% a year, 5%, okay, whatever. Like no one wants to, I think the thing that really drives me crazy about a lot of the right-wing economists and people like that is they think that people on the left want to take money out of people's pockets. We don't want to do that. We just want to make sure everyone has enough. Money. That's all it is.
Yeah. No.
I don't care if you have a Ferrari. Have a fucking Ferrari. It's great. You know what? Because someone's going to be paid to clean that Ferrari, to work on that Ferrari, that's fine. And that money goes in the economy. That's fine. What I care is if you buy half of a fucking country and then hide money there. That's what I give a shit about. I'm talking to you, Mikey. He's so rich.
And
he makes us stay in this
money,
basement.
It's that he keeps losing the money.
You know what the stupid thing is? He's not even here. He's on a plane right now. He's flying himself to, where is he going? He's got Macau or whatever the fuck he is to gamble again on fucking bear fighting. Like, that's illegal now. Surely that's illegal. Or is it BARE fighting? I never know with him. He does a lot of shit.
Sure does.
I mean, the thing with UBI is like, it's funny. These people who say the trucker protest people, they're like, we're fighting everything. It's like, no, you're not. If you really want to fight, they're like,
you're inconveniencing Ottawa.
Exactly. You're just honking your horn and you're having a fucking bouncy castle party and you're hanging out with racists.
Can I rant briefly about this?
Please, I'm gonna
drink. I have done a bit of political organizing. I do not want to elaborate on this podcast, but like, they didn't Google if Parliament was in session. They went and protested while there was no politicians in the area.
This is when I can get the 2 weeks off. This is my holiday.
Absolutely. Like, I don't know what. They could have just done it any other time of year, and maybe they could have, like, you know, accosted. They could have been like, do you remember the citizens arrest guy?
No.
Oh, man. Okay, so there's this crazy man who, first off, citizens arrest, not really a thing, right? No. But he was just going around and trying to citizens arrest politicians for treason. But like, the politicians are making the laws. They would never make a law that they would break. That's not how that works, right? Like, they get to
hilarious stuff.
They get to move the goalposts.
Handcuffs and stuff.
Little
shorts.
I actually don't know, but I do feel like he was wearing jorts.
I do. Fire on his hat. Excuse me, sir. Citizens arrest.
Yeah, he was like following. I'm pretty sure there's a story, and like, maybe I'm wrong. I can't Google it because my phone's over there. But like,
Mikey can Google it.
I'm pretty sure when he tried to citizens arrest Trudeau, he was like on the grounds of Rideau Cottage for like so long before they found him. Like, so. Part of the problem with Ottawa, though, is like there's like 3 different police forces that are operating out of Ottawa, because there's like the OPP, and then I think there's Ottawa Police, and then there's the RCMP who do the parliamentary stuff.
So what's the difference between the OPP and the Ottawa Police?
Oh, that's Ontario Police.
Oh, Ontario. Oh,
yeah,
right. Sorry.
Ottawa. I don't know. Or there's like 2 levels of RCMP. My buddy was
tiny. How come they have their own police force?
Because Parliament is policed differently.
But didn't the RCMP take care of it?
Well, yeah, but it's the RCMP doing it, but like, then there's another police force.
Sounds
basically
to me like
the moral
overspending.
The moral of the story is it's really easy to commit crimes in Ottawa because it will take so long for them to get their shit together.
That seems to be what was going on, because it was like, they're like, I don't know. First of all, the truckers are like, there's hundreds of thousands. There was like 9,000 people, and it was just great.
I don't
Good
even
for
think
you.
It was that many.
No,
there was like a lot of really big trucks.
There's a lot of big trucks, but it was like, and I also like, some guy said to me, he's like, you'll never do a corporate for truckers ever again.
Was that happening?
Oh, citizens arrest.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
A man connected to fringe far-right group camping in downtown Ottawa attempted a citizen's arrest on Prime Minister 2. Both of the citizen's arrest attempts were recorded and posted.
I told you.
He's wearing jorts.
He's totally wearing jorts.
And the stereotypical truckers.
Can you put it on the screen so they get it?
Yeah, we'll post it. Keep that, and then we'll post a picture of it. Like, hold on, look at it now. There you go. Mm-hmm. And I love that they all have that weird. It's all that.
Yeah. For sure.
I think I would go really well undercover as one of those fuckbags, because if I shaved and shaved my head, I'm that round bowling ball look. If I got those sunglasses,
you 100%
and I just got too much.
If you get cancer instantly,
if I get cancer,
if you get cancer, people we can't be seen together.
No, it's gonna be called the soon-to-be party, and I'll be under. I'll be undercover. He'll be like, Simon's lost a lot of weight, but now he's a far right extremist.
I know somebody who like legit does that.
Yeah.
She's a comrade, but she's like an older lady, and she's like so supportive of all of the movements.
Yeah.
And she will wear a disguise and go undercover at all of these right wing events. Like she's got like a hat with like rhinestones on it.
Oh God, I love it.
And she just slips right in
Oh,
there.
I love it. I would love to go and hang out like
Okay.
in front of an abortion clinic with the people who are protesting it and just like pretend I'm one of them and just every so often just slap, just stop it, Dale, stop it, fucking stop it, leave her alone. Like every so often be like, what? Because that would confuse them so much.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
wouldn't be ready for it. And I have a Proud Boy look by accident. I don't mean to. I'm as far
Yeah,
as
you
can
could for
get.
sure. You can't wear camo.
Oh no,
You
no,
can't
no,
wear
no. I can't
camo.
wear. First of all, no one can find me. Right? I'm stealthy anyway. Mikey always knows. He knows my scent. He's like, that's why the mics smell good. I was like, oh, that's
well,
great.
while we're on the convoy thing, do you know about Ram Ranch?
What? Oh, yeah, Ram Ranch. Yeah. The
Ram
song.
Ranch
Oh, that's
is
amazing.
so funny. I was explaining. I was in
You know about this,
Victoria.
Mikey? Okay,
Oh
tell
man.
Mikey. Explain
Okay.
this.
So I was in Victoria talking to like a headliner that was from out of town. We were like on the same show. And so funny because like one of the things that happens in Victoria for some reason is like the comics will swarm the headliner.
Yeah.
And I managed to get a moment in there.
Happened to me, but whatever.
Instantly, we started talking about housing policy, and nobody wanted to sit with us. It was great, very funny. But it ended up like turning to a conversation about the convoy, and I had to break it to him that the main way of just disrupting the protests that was going on was actually playing this porno metal song called Ram Ranch.
Yeah. It's fucking
and like
great.
sneaking it into all of their channels. And
Maybe
I think
we'll
it's,
play some at the end. We'll see what
you
happens.
definitely should. I think it opens with like 19 horny cowboys at
Yeah.
Ram Ranch, and it's just like all about sucking dick.
And
it's
it goes
so
on there,
funny.
like, didn't they have like an audio, like a WhatsApp or something that they were
Yeah,
doing?
yeah,
I
yeah.
can't remember what it was. It wasn't a WhatsApp, it was something else, but they were doing it. They would just keep popping up.
Yeah, totally.
And I love the idea that there's a couple of guys who are like, finally, we're getting through. Like they've been the whole time they've been like, yeah, fight Trudeau. Also, if we could suck dick, it'd be great. I was like, not now, Dale. It's like, yeah, fuck Trudeau, but like he's cute, but like, you know, we're like, all right, he's an asshole. But like it must be hard to be like gay far right because like your politics don't follow with who you can hang out with.
Yeah.
You're like,
Totally.
yeah, man, I fucking think the economy's fucked. I think Biden and all them motherfuckers is fucked up. Also, men are cute. Like,
I mean, they're fucked because like
Yeah.
they're getting accused of being groomers now. That's like the whole thing, right? It's like
that keeps popping up. It's like if
Yeah.
you want to find groomers, I think
go
you
to
just
the
need to listen to
church.
Thriller.
You're already there.
Yeah.
There, many of them are like in
Pop on
positions
a
of
copy
power all
Thriller,
over the.
do the Eucharist.
Yeah, I mean they're everywhere. They're mostly in the church, though, right?
I love
it's
that.
Not,
I love that when the people are like, "I'm free. I want to be free. I'll make my own mind
No,
up," and then they're
you're
fucking
not- you're
going to church.
literally- you're
and I'm like,
gagging on the boot.
every Sunday you're being told what you can and cannot do. I'm fucking free. You're not free for fuck. You're not free at all.
No.
You're being told how to vote. You're being programmed how to vote. It's just so, to me, it's so sad that it's like, because I don't think a lot of the people who think that way politically necessarily are bad people. I think they're just programmed, and I think they just because I look at it as having a kid. I could tell my kid anything, and I'm his world, so he would believe me just because I'm his world.
Yeah.
And so if I told him, "Oh, we don't vote like that because of this or whatever fuck," and he'd be like, "Yeah, okay," and then unless something happens in his life that would significantly reverse that, he will just be that guy. And it's not their fault.
absolutely.
Some
Yeah.
of them are dickheads, but most of them are just fucking, product of where they're from.
Many of them are, yeah. I mean, I don't know. It's been interesting because, like, my dad is like basically Ricky from the Trailer Park Boys. Like, he has not finished his grade 9. He grew weed for a very long time for organized crime. Like, he's that guy.
like him.
He was like a conspiracy guy, but he was like an Ancient Aliens, which is also deeply, deeply problematic for like lots of racism reasons. But like, he was that guy. I remember one time talking to him, and he doesn't pay attention to my life at all, so he'll never see this. So I don't feel bad talking about this at all. But
Hey,
like,
go nuts. No, quite frankly, Megan, no one's gonna see this. That's not even on.
no. I'm just you just brought me here to take me up from the basement and murder me.
It's actually the camera's facing recording Mikey.
Oh.
That's all it is. So no one sees us. It's just recording. Mikey's just sitting there with his mic with his headphone. We should do that sometime and split screen it. I would love that. Holy, sorry. I just think that'd be great. Just a split screen of Mikey. Just we could cut to it because he's sitting there in this like chair from the '80s with his head, and he looks very '80s with his pink. He's got
acid
candy.
wash.
He's got his pig hoodie on.
Yeah.
He's got his headphones on. He had his gamer headset on earlier, and I felt so bad because it looked like he was trying to land a plane in a storm. Anyway, sorry. So your dad's not going to see it.
But my dad's definitely not going to see it. But like one time in like 2010, I was talking to him about the BP oil spill. This is like 300 oil spills ago, but and he was like getting all stressed out about it, as you should. We all should have been, because he used to be kind of like a left-wing conspiracy
it was
guy.
Terrible.
Oh, it was terrifying and horrible.
Right?
Well,
Mexico, who gives a shit?
We're so used to it now, too. Like it doesn't faze us
fatigue.
at all. That was the last time that anyone seemed to care about an oil spill.
Yeah.
But I digress. I was talking to him, and he was like, "You know what really freaks me out?" And I was like, "Oil companies?" And he's like, "Yeah." But like, what happens if they frack on one side of the earth and then they frack underneath on the other side of the earth and the earth just splits in half? And I was like, the education system has failed us.
Yeah, that's some L. Ron Hubbard shit.
Like, it was like,
what if you cut the earth in half? Whoa. Here's something interesting, though, and I will tell you this. The iron core at the center of the earth is now spinning the wrong way.
oh,
So that's exciting.
that's
Yep.
are we gonna get a
on a
like
second.
magnetic
Hold on.
polar shift thing?
And that's not news. Nobody gives a fuck because they're
Yeah.
interested in Kardashians.
That might fuck with the internet.
Earth's-
But anyway, my dad's into QAnon now, and it's
Oh,
terrible.
good.
He's
That's
like
good.
fully a QAnon guy.
Okay. Okay, here we go. Here's something interesting. This is from what is this? This is from the Weather Network. You know, known for their propaganda. The Earth's core appears to have reversed its spin. So what does this mean? And the article is just a guy crying. The solid metal core of Earth doesn't rotate perfectly in time with the rest of the planet. Fucking loser.
That seems bad.
And yeah, I know. And new research suggests that it may have reversed direction. Now, the thing is, we don't know if it's done this before because not a lot of
probably
people
has.
3,000 years ago,
yeah.
like back in BCE, were like, well, I don't know, fucking. But it's also one of those things where it's like, okay, first of all, we had Africanized bees or whatever, those killer bee things. And then
Yeah.
we had-
What happened
and
to
then
that? Have we just did the news
They
cycle move
don't
on?
even rate anymore. They're not even. First of
Yeah.
all, if the bees want in the news, attack Zendaya. That's what they. If they want
Right.
to get in the news, you know, if you want to get in the news,
Yeah,
bees need to be on the Rogan podcast. Just a big bunch of bees.
Yeah.
Joe Rogan.
Wow, look at you guys. Look how jacked you guys are.
You know, like
you guys
I
really sting a lot, right? You sting? You sting all the time. Wow, look at you.
Like just like fucking Rogan, and just a big thing of bees. And they're just hovering in one area, and he's just talking to them, asking them if they've ever done BDMT.
man.
I don't know. I just love the idea of just bees as a group, just hanging out
Yeah.
and just like we need to get our PR up.
The bees also hate the Jews. Is
The-
the other
oh,
important
yeah,
part.
oh,
about this.
boy.
Otherwise, they wouldn't get booked.
They just don't like. They're like, we're the people that people should care about, ending with an S. And then the bees are like, there's way more than 6 million of us every year. Anyway, so the bees.
Wait, aren't they hornets?
Hornets? No, that's the murder hornets. That's
Oh,
different.
wait, are we talking
murder
about a
hornets is
different
totally
thing?
different. Yeah, that was the
Oh,
spin-off
we're
of
talking about a
Sons of
different
Anarchy.
thing. Okay.
The murder hornets were fucking terrifying.
Yeah,
Until
that's
people
what I thought
realized
we
they
were-
can't live in our climate, and then they were like, fuck it.
Right.
Murder hornets were like a bunch of old people who want the heat up all the time.
Right.
That's all a murder hornet was just a grumpy old hornet.
Well, that's why we haven't heard about them. That's good.
They don't
Great.
no, because we don't call.
I was really worried about
You'll
it.
never call. You'll never murder hornet. Why don't you get in touch with me? I don't know. That's a Jewish bee. There you go. Oh, honey. Do you like honey? Boy, have I got that guy for you. I don't know where the fuck that came from. Well, it's good to know we're back on the horse, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's probably time
great.
for... Let's get random. Okay.
What's going on?
Yeah, see, nobody ever knows because nobody watches the podcast.
I'm sorry.
What this is so I was on the internet about a year ago, and I found a random topic generator for
okay.
socially awkward people.
Ooh.
And so what we do
I'm
is random topics range. You can put in anything you want. We like to leave it very open. But there's topics for work, for relationships, there's anything.
Okay.
So you're on a date, you don't know what to do. You hit the random topic generator. This pops up. What the fuck? So what we do is we do like to do randoms. Mikey will. I don't know what's happening. Mikey will read out a random. We leave it as broad as possible. There was even one in there for funerals, which was fun. A random topic of funerals.
Wow.
It's like, oh, that also happened to Mama Cass. Like, what the fuck? So let's do a random. Mikey, what do you got? Hold on a second. Here we go.
Oh yeah,
Mike's gonna talk about it.
let's just do a random one here. Okay, what movie scene choked you up the most?
Oh God.
Movie scene choked you up.
Oh no. Can you go first? I got to think about this.
I can go. I don't normally go first, but I can go first. I'll be polite. What movie scene choked me up the most? Well, that Good Will Hunting one was pretty good. The Good Will Hunting, that was pretty where it ended, and I could leave. That was good. No, actually, no. Because I do love Robin Williams, and I think that movie was very well written, and I do like that scene. And the fact that I don't even have to say what scene it is, most people are like, they kind of get it.
I haven't seen that movie.
It was, and then the other scene that was kind of. I don't watch a lot of movies.
I don't either. Oh my God. Oh, I'm so relieved.
about it.
Okay. I was panicking because I was like, I don't watch movies.
No, I don't watch movies. Like, I mean, I really don't like. I'm just thinking of like I'm already back at Gremlins. Like, that's where I'm at.
I watch Lord of the Rings over and over again constantly.
Lord of the Rings.
Yeah. No, I do. Yeah. I watch it every time I'm sad. It's like part of my processing.
Yeah. I don't even know what's sad in a movie.
I don't think we have anything on this. I think you might need another one.
Well, yeah.
What's your favorite smell and what does it remind you of?
What's your favorite smell and what does it remind you of? There's a bit of a theme here.
Ooh, I like the smell of moss a lot. It reminds me of my grandparents' lawn because they did not do anything about the moss problem.
Yeah.
It's a good vibe. It reminds me of being a child and being unattended.
It's nice.
Yeah.
That's nice.
It's
a good memory.
Put a warm...
Moss. I'm trying to think what moss smells like.
Yeah, I don't...
It's like peaty, I guess.
Earthy. It's like real earthy, yeah.
Earthy. Well, peat, that's what peat moss is, right? That's where your whiskey comes from. Your good whiskey.
Is that...
The peat moss.
Is there peat moss in whiskey?
Well, no, it's not in whiskey, but it's fired. It's peat fired, right?
Oh, that's what that means. That makes sense. Yeah. Yeah.
I think so. A smell that I like. Well, you know what I do like is I really like fresh tar.
Oh, interesting.
I like that smell. I don't know why. I think it harkens back. There's two smells actually. There's a smell.
Feels like
a British soap. No, I was kidding. I'm serious. There's a smell of there's two things. The smell of British soap that from when I was a little guy, because I left. I got to Canada when I was 5.
Right.
And it was in my. I think my aunt used to wash her duvets with it, and it would stay over there. And I remember that smell. I don't think I've really smelled it.
It smells
since.
like tar.
No, and well, there is a bit of a tar smell, but there is. I just like the smell of and I also like the smell. I've never smoked in my life, but I like the smell of a cigarette the second it's lit up. That first few seconds of smell, I like that smell.
I do like the smell of unlit cigarettes, even though I've never been a smoker.
Yeah,
I also like
cigarettes. Yeah, smell good.
I like the smell of gasoline.
Me too. I love the smell of gasoline.
Oh my god,
oil. I love car because I grew up with old cars too. So like that smell, it just feels like. And what about pipe tobacco? Like not smoking, just pipe tobacco, like old pipe tobacco.
Yeah, I think I've smelt that before.
Yeah.
That's not one that I'm around.
Because I got a bunch of my dad's pipes because he smoked in like the 60s and 70s pipes, and I got a bunch of those, and one of which had not been cleaned out.
Right.
And it's 50-year-old tobacco, but the smell of it was like really. I was like, oh man, this is like it's really earthy. Like feels like it's like a leather chair. It just gives you this kind of mental image. I don't know, Mikey. What's your favorite smell? Oh, there you go.
I kind of like the smell of wet dog.
What?
Yeah.
Really? You like it?
A little bit. After I take my dogs for a walk and they come home and they smell a little wet doggy, I like that smell. There's no fumes, there's no gasoline or tar involved, but it's I guess that's my answer.
I guess you're against the economy. That's fine.
I guess so.
With the economy.
Wet dog and I guess that's it. And weed. I like weed. I do like the smell of weed.
Weed, yeah. Weed. I do like the smell of whiskey and bourbon. I like that smell.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Because I like the ritual of it.
I have a question for you, Mikey. Is the love of the smell of wet dogs a pre-concussion or a post-concussion thing?
Should I tell people? I didn't know whether I should tell people. Can I tell people? Mikey has a concussion because he got a book of Guinness Book of World Records, and he saw what Evel Knievel thought was good, and he was like, "Fuck all that." And Mikey doesn't know how to ride a motorcycle, so what happened was, you know those little scooters at Walmart they give you, the little ones? He stole one, and he souped it up fucking fast. And anyway, he hit his head on a pipe. The point is. Just the story makes no sense. But now I know. Now people have a feeling of what it's like to have a concussion. Like, it's like they're just going to flash a light really brightly, and they'll be like, ah! Yeah, Mikey had a concussion. He's. I mean, I asked him what he's up to the other day. He goes, the letter M. So that's good. But he's had a concussion, so it's been a really weird couple. That's one of the reasons we have not been doing the podcast, is because Mikey's broken, and I can't replace him. I don't know where to get him. I don't know where to even get him. I don't know what. Yeah, every so.
Well, yeah.
That's why we have to do this in a basement now, because before he was like, I can't be around lights and windows. I was like, all right, whatever, the fucking bats or whatever in the fuck. Yeah, so what were you asking? Sorry, about the concussion. I forgot to say.
I was just talking about the wet dog thing, because that is a very particular smell. I guess, I can see that being associated with joy. Yeah. And
it
also
is kind of a joyful thing, because it means it reminds you of your dogs and hanging out. I never know what's pre-concussion Mikey and what's post-concussion Mikey.
Yeah.
I was like, are you going to have to wear 2 fanny packs now? Like, how does this work? Like, you just get an extra fanny pack for every concussion? Eventually you just look like a caterpillar? It's like, what the fuck happened?
Is this your first concussion, or what's the number? Oh, okay.
Wow.
All right.
Oh, there you go. That's nice. I think I've had one. I was snowboarding when I was 18, and I didn't know what I was doing, and it was the end of the season. And we were going down the slope, probably doing about 20K or something, and I hit the front lip of the snowboard, and but I went to put my hands down, they slipped, and I hit my head. And I remember my whole body rocking, thinking to myself, like, I've never felt this before, and this sucks. And then I immediately went down the run and did the same thing again. And the next time I hit it so hard, and then I slept for 3 days. So I was like, I'm pretty sure I probably I remember because I went to my girlfriend's house at the time, and I was like, and she came home from work, and she's like, "Oh, you're right." And I was like, I hit my head, and then like 2.5 days later, she's like, "Hey, you finally woke up," and I was like, "You should have probably sent me to the hospital." Yeah, I think that's the only time I think I've had a concussion. I don't do things.
Yeah, I don't think I've had a concussion, although I'll never know because I had bad parents.
Yeah, fair
so
enough.
Like I could see them because like. I was unattended at my grandparents' house a lot. Like one time I climbed on top of this like dollhouse, but like this playhouse we had that was like a full ass story. Like it was definitely one. And I was climbing on top and I just fell down and I was like dazed and confused for probably like 5 minutes.
Perfect.
And then I was just like, I guess I'm just going to go look for a snack.
I love the idea. You're like, I don't know if I've had a concussion, but I did grade 3 4 times. I don't know why. And your dad's like, fucking aliens. You're like, what's going on?
I'm just like outpacing dad. Oh, goddamn.
That's what he measures it by. He's like, well, she's smarter than me. I was like, well, fuck.
Absolutely. I think both of my parents are just like, I think I'm like a fairly smart person.
Yeah, I'd say
for
that.
sure. I don't know.
Well, you chose to do this, so I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know.
I wandered in here seeing what this building looked like.
Yeah.
So
when we set it up, we were like, this isn't gonna end well. Like nobody likes this. Like this is terrifying. Like it's real fucking Soviet podcast.
Yeah, it feels
You know what I mean?
very.
Yeah, it's like a 1991 podcast. So, what do you think about the leader? Can you give me another random, Mikey? We got time for one more? What are we doing?
What are 2 things still left on a bucket list?
2 things still left on my bucket list.
Oh.
2 things still left on my bucket. I don't have a bucket list.
Oh, I don't either, but I've always wanted to run for mayor as a joke.
That'd be great. You should do that. You could do that.
I kind of worry that I would. You know what I really want to do? I want to destroy someone's strata.
Ooh,
I want to. If anyone here is in a strata, if there's a homeowner listening to this, and you want to run for your strata and just like destroy an entire strata board, hit me up. I've got way too much.
I'm a fan of that.
I have way too much campaign experience, and I just want to fuck up somebody's strata or like their homeowners association. I want to port. Do you?
What do you have against stratas? I hate them too, but I just want
Trish Stratus, the wrestler?
Yeah, what do I have?
You just go, you're like, I want to destroy Trish Stratus. And she's like, what? Just reading a paper. For some reason, she listens to this podcast of all podcasts.
She's in a yoga class, and
I feel attacked.
Fly in with a
You just get scissor kicked off the couch. The fuck.
I mean, there's a lot of things that I don't like about stratas. First off, I will never be in one because I will never own a home. So that's like the first immediate thing I don't like.
Fuck 'em.
I think that it really appeals to people who have a lot of free time, and therefore the shittiest of shitty people end up being the ones in charge. And then one time when I was a kid, there was like a townhouse complex, and I used to hang out there a lot with my friends, and then the strategist voted to not allow children outdoors unattended. And I still I hold a grudge about that.
I fucking hate them. Like, I don't, because I guess some are useful, but most of the time it's just like, you can't have a Christmas tree. You can't have lights outside.
Why are you Sam Tonning for that? Why are you doing this? Why are you doing the Sam Tonning impression?
But it's very much like the people who, like, I don't have time to do that shit.
No.
And so it's the people that want to do that shit. They want to make rules. Like, a friend of mine, there was an old folks home that their grandmother was in, and the stratas rules were fucking nuts because it was old people, and they all wanted time. They were like, first of all, they don't get to dine in the same room as us. All right, calm the fuck down. All right, Grandma. Like, it's just like there was a lot of, but there were some really archaic. Like, you can't live in the place unless you've been married for 6 years.
Oh shit,
like that kind of shit.
Well, sometimes
like,
they violate
civil rights.
Yeah,
like,
sometimes they violate human rights
stuff.
stuff.
You do human rights shit that you can't do, and all of a sudden it was like, because and they're like, well, it's an old rule. It's like, yeah, but you're an old person, so you should know. I think if you're an old person, you should be aware of the old rules. Like, look, I'm 90 years old. I know how things went down in 1961, and I know we shouldn't do that anymore. But instead, it's like, I missed that time.
Yeah, that's always the way it is.
You missed
for
that
sure.
time because you had more than 4 years.
Well,
left.
they're homeowners, so of course they miss that time, right? Like, they already immediately have a level of privilege by being able to own a home.
Because my generation, because I was born in '77, so I'm 45 now. And what are you gonna do? And and I think my generation are gonna be the first generation of old people that aren't gonna have that arrogance.
Oh,
because we won't have shit. We don't, because we grew up analog and then it turned digital, so we were fucking confused by that. We didn't even have our own foundation, and we don't own shit, and we owe all this money, and there's no hope and there's no future, and we know we let our kids down. It's basically gonna be like really schooling old people. It's gonna be fun, except for the fact that I'm one of them. But it's gonna be fucking great. Like a bunch of old people, like not entitled to old people. Could you imagine old people who know their place? Oh God. Just like, yeah, you could park in the handicap spot, but why don't you keep it the fuck down? All right. Like, it's like old people. Oh man, just old people who are in line. That's what I want.
I think there's something to that though, because like Gen X or like older millennial people, it's like even when you've built a pretty good life, you haven't really been able to like put down roots.
No, yeah.
Not being able to own a home means no generational wealth, right? Like that means the general and. Even like people who are working in tech companies or even the oil field, especially the oil field, they're making great money, but then we live in this consumerist culture, so they're being told to spend it.
Yeah,
like
they're in so much debt. They're in debt prisons worse than most people because they make $300,000 a year.
Yeah,
which is great, but they have unsecured debt for $1 million, and it's just like you'll never pay that off.
You're fucked,
you're
right?
Done.
You're
done.
I think like I lived up in oil field country and like worked a job that was kind of adjacent for a little while, and the companies they know what they're doing. They're encouraging it, right? Like they're encouraging their workers to be in a severe amount of debt so that they have to work there,
to stay there
because they're not at risk of going hungry unless they get them to spend so much money and that's what kind of keeps them there.
The last thing you want is employees who have value and worth and can walk away. Because if they can walk away, like
they're
that's
not
the
going
thing,
to put up
with it. They make you scared for what you have, and you'll lose what you have if you don't. But they don't realize that, like people don't realize that if you don't fight, you don't even have what you have. And so what they go is you lose what you have if you don't. You're not going to. And that's you're right. That goes back to that early part of the conversation. Is about that's what that poverty thing is a warning. It's like, hey, you don't want to end up as that guy, right? So get in your $120,000 truck and fucking go.
It's
and the thing is, your body is what they're paying for. They're using, and when your body gives up, because it will, you're done. You're done, and nobody fucking gives. It's kind of like the NFL, like but it's weird. Like these kids, they spend their whole lives trying to get in the NFL. They get in the NFL, and most of them are in it for 3 years if they make it, and they don't make much money. They might make $1 million over 3 years, and then they're fucking done, and their bodies are destroyed, and they can't do anything.
Yeah.
And it's the same sort of thing. Yeah, it lasts a little longer.
And most of them would have been pushed through school if they weren't like getting good grades.
Yeah.
They would have just been like,
so they're not educated.
so that they could. Oh yeah, they got nothing.
Yeah.
It's really sad.
It's really appalling. It's. I mean, it's one of these things where it's so predatory, and the whole system of economics. I mean, we definitely have to have you back to talk about this. But the whole system of economics is so the way we run the Western, most of the world, but definitely where we live. The economic system is so predatory and so driven on debt and so driven on desperation and fear. And now the internet has thrown extra gas on that fire because now it's reminding you of what you don't have every day. Oh, you don't have this, you don't have that. TikTok, every third video is some fucking 18-year-old with a Lamborghini. You know,
is that what your algorithm
they
is?
didn't buy that pretty
Because
much.
my algorithm is all lesbians and communism. So I think it's like a personalized thing. What? Yeah.
My algorithm must think something weird about me because mine is like John Wick movie clips. Young people with a lot of money, guys lifting way too much weight. Like,
right.
And I don't like it. But it keeps popping up. And then, like, no comedy.
But
no
are
comedy
you
in my
hate watching those videos?
I hate watch some.
Yeah, I think you might be hate watching them because I also hate watch a lot of stuff as well. Like I hate watch Mormon mommy bloggers, and sometimes it'll make the turn. Also, what are they called? Neverborn dolls. Have you heard about this?
What? Oh,
the weird, like they're super realistic babies. They look like a newborn baby. They all do. And then there's this one creator.
Why are they called Neverborn?
I think they're called Neverborn. You know, honestly,
what would your abortion look like if it was alive today?
I think,
like, what?
Or I don't know. I think you're gonna have to just put an asterisk up and then put the name.
No,
right,
I love the idea of Neverborn because it sounds like a grunge band from 1993.
Oh, it totally does. Yeah,
it sounds like they had one hit song and it was like Baby Shoes or some shit, and then they disappear.
Okay, so there's this like one lady who's like a we'll call them Neverborn doll influencer, and during the it gets way worse. It gets way worse. Okay, so during the formula shortage, there was like a brutal formula shortage in the U.S., somewhat in Canada as well, but to the point where like kids were going hungry. Like breastfeeding moms were like shipping out breast milk because kids were like gonna die. Yeah. She was purchasing bulk amounts of soy baby formula and then feeding it to a not alive doll on the internet. And she was just getting roasted by the community, and she did not care.
I would think it's like, I get if your dog's your baby, it's alive.
Yeah.
But if your doll is your baby, you might as well be fucking feeding a VCR. You know
totally.
Like, here comes the airplane, and they just be kind of like, what the fuck are you doing? What the fuck? In fact, I would respect that more if she was just like, here's my baby.
Food.
It's like a 1991 fucking Casio.
It's terrifying. So I hate watch that. Yeah. Really enjoy hate watching that.
Yeah, that would actually be pretty cool.
I like hate watching like girl boss stuff.
Oh, I fucking love that.
I hate a girl boss.
Oh God, I love that.
Say that as like a female small business owner.
I love the false empowerment bullshit of like, I can get it done and I can do. It's like no. It's the same as like, I love those Andrew Tate fucking Andrew.
Oh, I hate
those because he's so. Yeah. First of all, I mean, look. I'm not one to pick on someone's physicality. I don't like to do that. But this guy is so alpha male, so bro dog and everything. And he's
also the weirdest looking dude
ever. He walks like a 12-year-old girl whose shoes are too big. Like, he just like, flip,
absolutely.
He's like, I'm an alpha male. Like, what the fuck? And he's gonna die in prison.
I think he's gonna get out. I hope he dies in prison. I don't know. He kind of looks like.
Are you telling me that Romania might be corrupt? Good Lord.
I mean, maybe it'll be corrupt in the right direction. Like, I don't know. I feel like Romania, this is like a tourism thing for Romania now. They haven't made the news in so long that they're like, people, we're on the map.
You know why he went there, right? He went there specifically because their human trafficking laws are lax. Like, dude, look, I don't know. Like, first of all, if your strata has lax human trafficking laws... Well, that's not a good strata.
But, I mean, okay, so here's the thing.
We don't ask any questions. What's with the shipping container with the holes in the roof?
They had an unofficial travel slogan, which was, visit Romania. Sex trafficking laws, very easy. And now they're like, oh, no, that's our reputation. And now they've got to be like, visit Romania. We killed Andrew Tate.
Yeah, Romania, come for the movie Hostel. Stay for the movie Hostel. Like, what the fuck? But yeah, the Andrew Tate thing, I just love how dim-witted these fucking guys are. Like, it's like,
so goddamn
if you
stupid.
actually had hundreds of $millions, which he might or might not have. And
Oh,
if
he doesn't. He doesn't.
But even if he has $1 million, which is, $999,000 more than I have. If you have $1 million, why are you picking a fight with a 19-year-old autistic teenager? Like, what is your fucking thing you're doing? Why? Because you're going to lose.
Yeah. Also, just what I love about this is that he got broken out of Twitter jail and immediately went into jail.
Jail. Yeah.
And that, like, just that
No one
warms
gives
my
a fuck.
heart.
And he will disappear. And the thing is that these guys
He's not going to disappear. He's got someone tweeting for him.
But what happens is they start to disappear from the zeitgeist because what happens is the dudes that support them, the people that hold them up, and not all dudes, but mostly dudes that support them and hold them up, they see that as weakness. He got caught. He got busted. He's out. We've lost. I've seen so many TikToks that are like, we've lost him. He's gone. And I'm like, hey, he's not gone, but I mean, he'll get out of jail in a couple years. But what'll happen is this impenetrable alpha male bullshit, unless he spins it correctly, which he could do.
Oh, he's already spinning it. It's like, ooh, the Matrix did this. Like, what needs
Matrix
to happen?
Didn't do that. Your fucking pizza box did it.
We need to just like take a period of time. Andrew Tate's in prison. He's not making content. Somebody just has to put a bag over Jordan Peterson's head. Bring him into an alley, put him in a shipping container, ship him into any direction, and then in that period of time, we just get all of these incels laid, and we've solved misogyny.
Like, I'm working on a bit right now about incel terrorists, and I'm like, who's afraid of a terrorist with a boner? Like, that just seems the weirdest thing to me. Is like to be like,
me, I'm terrified. You know what? I'm terrified of a terrorist with a boner.
Women won't touch it, so I'm getting a van and driving into a parade. Is like, look, all I can think is, look, we got angry mass shooters, right, and we got incels.
Yeah.
All I'm thinking.
I think a man with a boner who's trying to kill me is like a worst case scenario for me.
I mean, fair enough, but you did come to this basement, so you're not exactly good with the judgment, Megan. You just fucking wandered into the bad part of. Why are our studios always in the worst part of town?
Cheap
This is stabby as fuck.
It's cheap rent.
It is cheap
You're
rent.
gentrifying this neighborhood.
We are
right?
gentrifying
It's going to be
this
cool.
neighborhood.
And then
I've never been told that before.
Yeah.
Is it because I use the word whom sometimes?
So we're doing mostly.
I better clean this up and use my whomver, right? That's how you use it.
For the 3 people watching, we're in the area of town that just usually smells like chicken guts.
Yeah.
This is where we process chicken.
Which is actually the other thing Mikey was going to say is this is wet dog and chicken guts. Those are favorite smells. How are we doing? We're done? Oh, fuck. You have to come back.
Yeah, I can come back.
You have to come back.
I'll totally
you don't
come
have
back.
a choice now. I don't know why it turned into Tom Segura there for a minute.
I feel like it took us a little while to get warmed up. Took us a little while to get warmed up.
You know what? It's because we're in a basement. We're in a cave basement. And also, to be fair, and I feel to be fair to you, I haven't done this in a while.
Yeah.
I forgot how to talk. And now I remembered. Mikey forgot we had a podcast, doesn't have a microphone, doesn't know exactly where he is, and isn't sure what the color blue is. He thinks this couch is trying to attack him. Where can people find you?
They can find me, on the internet?
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, that's what we mean. What? Like, are we doing like social media handles?
This, what happens is this gets transcribed and then stapled to pigeons' legs.
Okay.
And then they fly around and they give it to the people who want it. So it's not so much a podcast as a birdcast.
Perfect.
It's a birdcast.
Perfect. The internet. Yeah, okay. I only use my business TikTok.
Well, then tell them about your business again.
Yeah,
Remind them about your things. Tell them the things they can get. And then
please don't dox me. It's leftmerch.com, and the TikTok is leftmerch, and the Instagram is left.merch. We couldn't get the original one.
Oh, fuck.
God damn it. And yeah, that's where we do silly stuff. So if you like anti-capitalist shit, or you think I'm cringe and want to see more of that, that's where you can find me.
Hey, you know what? Hate watch us. Hate watch this for a while. Why don't you hate watch us? Hey? And then just keep hate watching us.
Yeah.
And if this is a clip on TikTok, you keep hate watching it. Just leave it on. Just leave it on while you go to the bathroom. Just leave it on. Just go on that. It would help out. Thank you so much for being here. I really
thank
appreciate
you.
it.
This
It was
was
really
great.
awesome.
I had
First
a lot
guest
of
in the
fun.
studio. First guest since we returned from our terrible hiatus. And then now we're back on our regular non-terrible hiatus. We should just do seasons and pretend that's what we're doing.
Oh yeah, that's people do that, and then it looks intentional.
It
right?
looks first guest of season 2.
Ah!
Yay! That seems better,
Great.
right?
Yeah.
And,
First guest of season 2. You just got to dub over that now.
First guest of Mikey. What would you like to say?
It's working on the letter M.
Working on the letter M, ladies and gentlemen. We are going.
Don't
to
work
clean
too
him
hard
up.
on it.
We're going to. Once he's earned mic privileges again, he'll get them back. But I thought, Mike with a mic, it's too confusing for him. He didn't know which was him. He was talking into the microphone. He's like, is that me? Because that's Mike. And I'm like, no, you're Mike. And he's like, but I'm here? And I'm like, yeah. When we were setting up the camera earlier, Mikey couldn't figure out, because I filmed myself to see the shot. Mikey couldn't figure out how he was there, and also was talking to him. He went full fucking caveman. It was pretty amazing.
Oh, God.
Thank you so much for listening and or watching. If you're listening to this, you should be watching it. It's fucking way better when you're watching it. There's a plant. What are you, stupid?
There's multiple plants.
There's multiple plants and a giant weirdo light bulb. If you can see the giant weirdo light bulb, write me a letter at www.skpodcast@gmail.com and you won't win anything. Please rate, review, and subscribe, and send this to all your friends who like things and your friends who don't like things, because fuck them, right? Get your own bag. Thank you very much. Thank you, Megan Milton.
Thanks
Thank
for
you,
having
Megan
me.
Greenwood.
I really
I'm
appreciate
Simon King,
it.
and that's what's wrong this week.